Hello, hello, my Star Atlas fans. It's me, the MetaVerse Explorer. I'm back. Took a little bit of time, went away, thought about my life in its entirety, and I came back because I like Star Atlas. And you keep watching my videos because you like Star Atlas. Or at least maybe you like me, hopefully. As I said in the last video, and I got a lot of comments back, it looked a little bit bleak in my last video. I'm not going to apologize for that because that's really how I felt, and I'm an honest person, and I talk to you like an honest person. Since then, I've actually been a little bit busy, taking my mind off the entire crypto market. And went and did, I just did my normal work stuff. I actually have 8 shifts in a row, and I'm starting night shift tonight, so I'm like flat out, but I thought I should really make a video because it's about time I made a Star Atlas video. My job is to keep you updated and to keep everyone updated on what's happening. So, let's talk about Star Atlas. What's happening? What's been happening so far? I'll touch on a few things first, because I want to say thank you to the actual community, because when I made that video last video, you guys like huddled all around me, and I felt like I was getting like a virtual cyber hug. Like everyone's saying, oh yes, this is shit. We know the situation that you're going through, and it's not good. And I'll be honest, yeah, it's still not good, because I can see my portfolio now, and it's cut in half. I've lost years of crypto my experience has amalgamated to nothing, and I have nothing to show from it. And it's not like I'm gonna get the funds back from FTX, right? Not at all. Not at all I'm gonna get it back. And no one else is gonna get their funds from FTX back. So it is what it is. It is what it is, right? But like I said, we're back to Star Atlas. This video is just going to be me talking to you, looking at some other stuff that I've just prepared ahead of time, and tomorrow I'll be doing another video as well. So this episode is just a thank you to all of you guys who made comments and who came to the comment section and said, hey man, we know what you're going through. So to you guys, thank you. Made me feel actually really welcome. A lot of people chatted to me on Twitter. They sent me personal DMs. A lot of people contacted me on Discord, saying, "Man, we know what you're going through. Hang tight, man. This is the bear market." So it's been hard, but it's been much better with you guys as the audience, just kind of communicating with me and me talking to you. So once again, thank you guys. Let's get to some Star Atlas content, shall we? What's actually happening? So far we have the Games Jam, which has just ended, right? We're going to have a look at just a few of the little gameplays that people have come out that I've been able to screen from Twitter alone. I'm looking to actually try and download the game maker itself so that we can play some of these Star Atlas games, right? Give you some Star Atlas content. Because if the smart thing to do would be for the team to actually incorporate all of these games that are already made, right, into the Star Atlas metaverse. Like you visit the games planet or something, and then they have all the sandbox planets. I'm sure they'll have a planet somewhere. And then, you go and play all the sandbox games, right? And you can collect little items from it, and you go and trade it, maybe, give or take, that sort of stuff, right? I think it's a missed opportunity if they don't do that. Like the content is already there. Just plug it in, right? Plug it in. So we'll have a look at a few of those things. But before that, I wanted to play this little video that Raj Gokal was actually, and I think Crypto Banter, he's a influencer, semi-OG guy, news anchor, I think he was, not sure if he still is, but talking to Raj Gokal, one of the co-founders of Solana, and asking him about what his highlight was at Solana Breakpoint, right? And let's watch the video, see what he says, and this gives you insight as to why I decided to, instead of sleeping tonight, preparing for my night shift, make a Star Atlas video.
What's the most exciting thing that you've seen here at Breakpoint?
I think honestly the games, Okay, look, I'll say Star Atlas has blown me out of the water.
Okay, you said it.
I'm really, you know, they started 2 years ago. Nobody was talking about AAA games using crypto. Nobody was talking about building a community first with digital assets that would be transferred into the games, and then actually funding and building a AAA game on top. I played it. It feels like Mass Effect, you know, and it's 2 years later. I think, you know, everyone was really excited about Star Citizen and then really had their expectations deflated, you know, over 10 years without them delivering. But I believe Star Atlas has sort of reached escape velocity on how much they've delivered with the capital they have, on the timeline they have. And it's way ahead of, you know, the rest of the market.
What's the most exciting thing that
So,
you've seen?
you listen to the words he said there. It's really impressive that they've delivered what they've delivered with the capital they have. And you know, with the products that's coming out, which so far looks to be Sage, the comic book, UE5 later on down the line. Hopefully Sage will get by the end of this quarter, you know, by the end of this year's end, or we'll get a DevNet version of it at least, right? But he said to keep work the capital that he had. And of course we know Star Atlas had 50% of its runway on FTX and has gone down from 30 million to 15 million runway. So now Michael Wagner and everyone else is going out in search of capital, right? They're not the only ones. Everyone else has lost money on FTX. Every other crypto project, NFT game, metaverse people are looking for funds. So is Star Atlas going to get funds? My answer, I think yes, they are. I base that off the products that we've seen so far, the vision of the team itself, the slight connections they might have in and out of Solana. And even to CZ, because CZ from Binance is doing like a giant fund. So it's possible. I haven't given up hope so far because I think they will get funding, right? I think so. And if anything, right, they still have 6 months of funding to go. They can release some products. And with the product releases, that gives them even more evidence to try and get more funding. So I think, you know, as they get closer and closer to the funding ending in 6 months, they'll release more and just people will come more, you know, more into the ecosystem. They'll be like, what is this game that a lot of people keep playing in 4 months from now? Like, okay, hey, let's look at them, give them some money, you know, invest in them. So yeah, just a bit of insight, right? Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about, of course, is the Games Jam. The Star Atlas Game Jam has arrived. This is the second Game Jam with Sandbox. The first one, the first one was just creating some assets, right? It was creating what your interpretation of what the Oni or the Ursa or some of the aliens were in Star Atlas. And this time, you're going to be creating a game. You're going to be creating a game, guys. And I've just picked up a few of them. Alfron, I don't know if you guys remember. Alfron is the guy who won one of my PX4 ships. I sent it to him earlier. He loves his ship. I told him to stake it. Now he earns Atlas from this ship. So it's the gift that keeps on giving. So Alfron, congratulations again for that ship you won. And he actually made a Star Atlas game for us, right? So I'm going to go ahead and look at some gameplays that I've been able to scrape from Twitter. And you tell me what you think, because I actually wouldn't mind playing some of these games, especially like with the quality that people have put into it, their effort into it. So let's watch one of these ones. Now this is just a cinematic. This is not the actual game, of course. I love it. They have a little Tigu there. That was awesome. Like, so that was just a little snippet, right? Unfortunately, you do have to download the Game Maker app for you to actually play these games, because think of it like files. You have to go to get the launcher, and then you have to go and get the files from the launcher and then play it as an executable. Let's look at some of them, and none of these are mine, guys, right? I'm not taking credit for any of these. This is by a Vox Lab in IZA. Let's have a look at this one. It's only a 3-minute video, so I'm going to try and fast forward through it. Now, it actually makes me think that they are a lab, like a group of people whose job it is to make voxel art because the sandbox. I don't think they're specifically interested in Star Atlas. They just see the prizes. They'll be like, okay, this is what we're going to go and do and create. This is a ship crashed. Doing a little bit of parkour here and there, a little bit of mining here and there. And I love it. Like, look at this. This is really great. This is really great. This is something for us to play together or like do a little bit of content on. This is awesome. And to be honest, all it takes is a bit of engagement for us to play these games and realize that, oh, I can sink an hour or two into this. Oh, look at that. There's a giant alien. There's a boss battle. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I didn't see that before. Oh, even that's cool. Look at that. Guys, look at that. That's good, man. I'm super happy with that. I'm super happy with that. So that's one of the better ones that I've seen, right? There have been some other ones, and this is him just going through some of his ships. He made the Calico Compact Hero. He made it like a little robot arm, and these are the different animals that he made inside the voxel. So this is its own game, right? You can load this map, go in, experience it. That's awesome. Look at this. I love this little one down here. All right, let's look at the second one, shall we? That I saw. So this one. This is good. Look, there's a little alien. Now, this one isn't actually a 3D. This is now like a 2D version. But of course, you can spin around it to make it look like a 3D. But most of the gameplay is actually a 2D side scroller. That's the type of game it is. It does need a bit more work. I think he's used a bit of assets from all over. It doesn't look like there's specific Star Atlas assets that he's used. But hey, that doesn't matter, right? It's a bit of gameplay for us. I think he needs to work on the character a little bit first. It's a bit weird. I think it's supposed to be a Fatali. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Now, the last one that I saw that I wanted you guys to see. This one is a little bit jittery. So, you know, keep in mind, he's probably recording on a lower end PC. This is Alfron as well. And I love it. It's got like a little inventory. It is a little bit jittery, but, you know, it's like it's got its own quests. You can go and do this, do that. Little fetch quests. Engagement, right? So, Alfron, good job, man. I really want to play these games. I think I should get the Game Maker if I have time. I'll make another Star Atlas video tomorrow just to cover some of the stuff that I've missed. But let's go ahead and actually, it's 12 minutes already. Let's go and thank a person who did something for me. This person is from Aephian, and they reached out to me and said, hey, MetaVerse, I got something for you. And I was very surprised. He actually got me my domain name, my own domain name. Now, I have one already, but that one was like, that's my public wallet, right? Now, I can confidently say that I own MetaVerse Explorer.Solana. So hopefully, when the usernames come into Star Atlas, I should, well, we don't know if it's actually going to be using the Bombfeeder domain name service or if it's going to be using something else, like maybe like MetaVerse Explorer.StarAtlas.Sol, like, or .sa. We don't know, right? We have no idea. They haven't given us much information about the domain names. But for now, I really appreciate this person who got me my own domain name, which is MetaVerse Explorer.Solana. And you can see I've logged in, and it's owned by me, by you, by me. So thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it. Like, you didn't have to get me anything. And to the people who gave me well wishes, and I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing well. Once again, thank you guys very much. You guys are all in the comments. You know who you are. If you said something nice, you made a comment that resonated with how I was feeling at that point. Thank you. You know who you are. Let's go and see some Michael Wagner items, right? In the Foundation Room. I finally have access to the Foundation Room, by the way. I don't know how it happened. I think they must have given me access to the Foundation Room. Thank you guys, whoever gave me access. So let's read something that Michael Wagner posted that I think we should all really read, right? Wagner. Perhaps it's worth noting just a couple of key assumptions we're making surrounding the future economy of Star Atlas. So I'm going to read this out, and I'm going to give you my commentary as we go along with it. It's important to emphasize that everyone here is incredibly early in the formation of this new government. Economy, the digital society, and dynamics are likely to change considerably through time. This is something we've already observed in Star Atlas, right? A lot of the stuff that they started with isn't really here, or like they've pivoted away from it, like, right? A lot of stuff, a lot. And this has been a little bit to the detriment because people leave because they see that they're trying to build this ship as they're flying it, right? They're trying to build this car as they're flying it. But that's how you have to be because no one has actually built this before, this whole thing. And so there's going to be changes. And some people can't stomach the changes. And I'm not blaming them, right? I like, this is on the risk curve. The risk curve for Star Atlas is up here, right? High risk, high reward. Some people don't want to take high risk right now. And how can you blame them? I've lost like years of my cryptocurrency savings. And other people are probably in a worse situation than this. Number one, I won't make a statement on any expected future value of any of the items we have sold. That doesn't sound good. We modeled pricing and availability using some assumptions on initial adoption and growth, but more importantly, surrounding the potential for those assets to participate in the early emission curve. So of Atlas, right? The subsidy of Atlas. In GAO, the Galactic Asset Offering Phase 0, we sold out entirely. Those were the good old days. Do you guys remember that when we stayed up till 3 a.m. trying to get the first ship? Or like looking at the Thripid being sold way above its price and trying to get an Opal Jet and putting an order in for $400 even though it's worth only $300 and everyone's freaking out because they think they won't get a ship? You remember those days? Those were the good old days. Obviously, in GAO Phase 1, we have not sold out. We haven't. There's like still half of GAO Phase 1, maybe a little bit less than half of GAO Phase 1 that still has to go. And they've stopped selling ships so far, right? The point of them keep selling ships was that they wanted to keep constant content releases coming out while they were building everything else. But it kind of backfired a little bit, didn't they? Because everyone kept saying, why the hell are you still selling ships? Why are you diluting the current supply? Why are you still giving ships out for more people to buy when there's still nothing to play? So it kind of backfired a little bit there with the ship releases. But hey, that's it. They're building the ship as it flies. They're building the airplane as it flies. At least at the present moment, it hasn't sold out. Number two, the Atlas emission curve is finite. It is intended to be a bootstrapping mechanism for the economy itself. It generates and provides the initial value to participants as the ecosystem grows. So they're talking about you and me. Everyone who's staking their ships, most people are selling their Atlas. I think the last report said about 70% of it is actually going back to buying more ships, right? But buying more ships to buy more ships to buy more ships. What's the point, right? We need something else. We need that game. We need that immersion. We need that entertainment. And like you said, he's going to say something here that I really resonate with here. It is entirely possible that the DAO votes to enact a perpetual or periodic inflation rate at the end of the curve. Though that is not how it is defined today. So he's saying like when the DAO actually gets established and at the end of the finite curve of the Atlas emissions from Score or from anything else, I would say, then the DAO can actually vote to increase them, like the total supply of Atlas. I think this is what it's saying. And then start doing more emissions. I don't know how this is going to go because, token inflation isn't good for most people, most low holders. It's good for the people who have a lot of it because they're closer to the source of the inflation, right? They have more of it. They can buy scarce assets. They can sell it for more because Atlas is inflationary. Is that a word? I'm not sure. Let's look at the second one. There's a few of them here. Number 3. Personally, I do not believe every user within Star Atlas in the future will have an extractive mentality. And what he's talking about is a lot of people in play to earn right now are very extractive. They're playing to sell to earn, right? That's what a lot of people in crypto gaming are right now. It started with the whole step end thing, well, in Solana anyway. So I've started it with Axie on Ethereum, and that spurred the whole play to earn thing. People come to these games thinking they can play something, and earn, which basically means play, get the token, sell the token. That's what it means. And he's saying people in Star Atlas, he doesn't believe every user within Star Atlas in the future will have this kind of mentality. Gaming is and will continue to be the primary attraction to Star Atlas, and they've said this many times. Their first priority is to make a really engaging game, right? Where are we? Atlas, at least in the near to intermediate term. But the promise of the metaverse will attract a diverse set of new users into the ecosystem with a wide variety of motives for participation. Yes, that's true, but we have to see that first, and we can't really predict what people are going to come in without having built the thing, right? Do not underestimate the ability of entertainment. I do not. People are willing to spend disposable income to create enjoyment for themselves. This is super, super true. How many people do you think pay for games all the way across the world? How many people play Fortnite and buy skins for themselves and buy crates, loot crates for God's sake, right? Just to get that little edge on top of someone else. They'll pay $99. They'll pay $1,000 in a year to play these games. And just think about every new game that gets released, right? Every new game that gets released, there's a whole bunch of people that just line up to go and buy it. And they get that little bit of entertainment from it. A couple of hours. Single player campaigns are even lower now. They're only 1, 2, 3, 4 hours, and then that's it. Which is shit, by the way, for me, because I like single player PvE kind of gameplay. I don't do any PvP. I don't do any multiplayer stuff. People buy those stuff, right? People buy it, and they only get a few hours of entertainment from it. So what does that make you think? Number 5. Let's zoom in so you can read here. Over a long enough time horizon, it will be entirely necessary for Star Atlas economy to function as a real-world economy, with producers and consumers, particularly as the emission curve is exhausted. This is super true. Supply and demand. You need it to have a good equilibrium, right? We're taking very early steps to introduce this concept within the introduction of crafting in Sage and the showroom 3rd release. Not the 2nd release, not even the 1st release. Hopefully we can have the 1st release of showroom by the end of this year or maybe the start of next year. The key point is understanding that there will be participants in Star Atlas that are happy to pay a fee for some commodity or service or experience that brings them joy, right? He's talking about the people that are the pay-to-win people. They come in, they don't want to spend any time grinding, they don't want to spend any time getting that armor set, getting that commodity, getting that ship. They're going to pay for it because they know they're fine to pay this amount of money for that joy, for that value that someone else has created, for that person who's playing to earn. They will care less about play to earn. They will care less about play to earn and be happy to spend $5, $10, $100 a month to participate in this digital world. Hopefully, if we get there, that's pretty good. Because you know what? When people come in and they want to spend $100 per month in Star Atlas, someone else is going to be making that $100 a month. It might be that play to earn person, right? It might be me who went out to salvage that loot that he now is using because he doesn't go and find his own fuel, right? Where Star Atlas is truly different is that those transactions won't be owned by automata. They'll be freely traded amongst the users. Some users will spend time to produce that content, all those goods, and others will consume them. Exactly what I'm saying, right? Naturally, we have built a model to allow for taxation of those transactions, which enables the DAO to effectuate change, pay for its own development service, including perhaps to automata, and otherwise evolve over time. And the last one I'm going to cover here, I'm nearly at 30 minutes. Sorry, guys. I know you guys don't mind the time, but this is a bit of a slower video for me. What I want to make excruciatingly clear, and this is Michael Wagner talking here, is that this model is not contingent on perpetual user growth. What he's saying is that, you know how, just in StepN right now, a lot of people, for StepN to have been kept going up and maintain its success, it had to keep getting new people coming in at the bottom. You rise up a little bit, new people come below you, that person rises up, and the new person comes up. And this is what people thought StepN would be so big, because everyone walks, everyone runs, right? But at some point, they reached a cap of people that were interested to get a crypto wallet, get some Solana, buy an NFT, and then start running. They reached that cap, right? And after a while, no one wanted to do it anymore. And so the whole population starts going away, and everyone who's at the top starts just collapsing. So it's a pyramid. It's a pyramid. I'm not saying it's a pyramid scheme, and most things, and honestly, are pyramid schemes. The whole banking system is a pyramid scheme. The whole money that we use, the US dollar right now, is a pyramid scheme, right? It's only worth what we think it to be worth because someone else will accept it for what it's worth. But it's literally just a piece of paper that's got a face on it. Not worth anything more than the paper itself, unless what someone else agrees to pay for, agrees to trade you something for it, right? Anyway, that's on a tangent. major tangent. Sorry, guys. This module is not contingent on perpetual user growth. So he's saying we won't need a whole bunch of people to come into the Star Atlas metaverse for it to be sustainable, right? User growth is good, but the objective of the feature is to balance the formula of producers against consumers within the economy. I'm glad at least they're thinking about this, because this is the same thing that happened to Axie Infinity, same thing that happened to StepN, and same thing that's going to happen to a whole bunch of other play-to-earn games, because they're going to be able to only survive if more people keep coming in and coming in and coming in and coming in until you take over the world, or you don't, or you reach your saturation point. It will come to equilibrium regardless, but where that fulcrum lies depends on balance of participants. Also adding that as merchants and real businesses enter our digital metaverse, they'll largely, or at least initially, be contributors to the value equation. Now, I want you guys to realize this. Michael Wagner, the team, they're aiming for outside companies, for Web2 companies to come into Star Atlas and sell their items, right? They have a weed business. They want to be able to sell their weed in Star Atlas, and you can, click on this with your ship, and then something will get delivered to you, because that's how the internet works. These guys will be paying their rents. They purchase land, they purchase advertising, and create experiences to attract customers in the game, right? This was loosely touched on yesterday, but the idea that these merchants can use Star Atlas as a new web front end for their commerce business is transformative. When we have substantial real commerce taking place in Star Atlas, it implies true value is being created. This is how we reach sustainability. So, Michael Wagner just dropped on us 6 points that he really wanted to share and get it out there and make it excruciatingly clear. I want to know what you guys think about these 6 points. I generally agree with most of them, I would say. Some items, like the first thing he said, which I didn't really gel with me, right? Let's say, here. I won't make a statement on any expected future value of any of the items we have sold. I guess we're in crypto, right? We came here knowing this. We came here knowing I could buy this $3,000 ship and it's not going to be worth anything. But at least you expect it to still be worth $3,000, right? You expect your whatever $20,000 ship to still be worth $20,000 as a ship. But it's not, because the Atlas price is decreasing and the ship price, and no one wants to buy the ships now. Of course, people are going to be upset at this, but are people going to be upset when Star Atlas makes it? When Star Atlas is one of the biggest metaverses in the world, and people and companies come in and they want to buy that one ship that's worth $100,000 now? Will you be complaining then? Right? You got to take the good with the bad. And maybe sometimes I'm too critical of the team. Maybe that's why they didn't want to hire me. Who knows? But like I said, I'm honest, right? Yeah, so this little sentence, this one sentence here got me a little bit there. I don't know how I feel about it. Maybe I'm still digesting it. We'll see. So guys, I want to leave it there. I want to say thank you very much to everyone else who came to support me in my time of need. My portfolio is super decimated right now. But the good thing is I'm still young. I just turned 30. I still have a full-time job. I've got a nice partner that is happy. And I'm happy with her, so you keep living, right? You just keep going. I'll make some more money. I'll buy some more BTC. I'll do an overtime shift. I have to at least get to 1 Bitcoin, because when the time comes and Bitcoin, people realize what Bitcoin is, I would be so upset at myself for not having one, because I'm here now making content in crypto. I gotta get that 1 Bitcoin. That is my goal. And then after that, I can get a Rainbow Arc. Yeah, Rainbow Arc first. Rainbow Arc second, Bitcoin first. Yeah, I think that's a good plan. Oh, but then what about Ethereum? Oh, and then what about Solana? Oh my god. Oh, I gotta think about this. You tell me what's more important: 1 Bitcoin, 10 ETH, or 1 Rainbow Arc? Three of them. What's the most important right now? Right? What's the most important? I'll see you soon.